What's really driving the rally in gold now, I think it's silver, because silver has taken the lead and has been pushing relentlessly higher over the last few days and weeks. The targets out of this cup and handle pattern are clearly at least $100, and then in the long run on a logarithmic chart, yeah, we're talking $250 to $500 for silver. And of course, once gold breaks out above 4,380, I assume we will be here on the way to 5,000, 5,200 until next spring. I don't see any long-term top in this secular bull market in gold yet. I think gold can easily go to 5,000, probably 10,000, and probably even higher than $15,000.
Silver has aggressively taken the lead, pushing relentlessly higher and driving the rally in gold. Gold has made a nice recovery since the Fed announced a new form of quantitative easing, QE, which is a major driver for the precious metals market. This movement is part of a secular bull market running since 2001 and is now accelerating. If gold breaks above its former double top at $4,380, it's headed for $5,000 to $5,200 by next spring, fueled by strong seasonal trends and physical buying for the Chinese New Year. Financial analyst and market veteran Florian Grummes provides his clear, punchy outlook for precious metals, stating the core driver is the relentless money printing and destruction of fiat currency purchasing power. Grummes sees gold easily going to $5,000, $10,000, and potentially over $15,000. He emphasizes that silver is in an unheard, unseen of rally, having confirmed a massive multi-decade cup and handle breakout above $50, with a long-run target of $250 to $500. Will the price action in the coming weeks confirm the next leg of this multi-year bull market, or is a final massive pullback still possible? Let's watch clips from Florian Grummes' explosive interview to gain more insight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for additional in-depth content. Thanks for joining us again. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, basically gold is still in that kind of consolidation, but as you rightly point out, a nice recovery over the last few weeks, and especially since last Wednesday when the Fed came in and basically announced a new form of QE, right? But to answer your question, what's really driving the rally in gold now, I think it's silver, because silver has taken the lead and has been pushing relentlessly higher over the last few days and weeks. Basically, since this sell-off in late October, silver has been making new all-time highs quickly and is now above 64, the new all-time high. So I think it's been silver that has actually pulled gold up as well over the last few days. I mean, in the very big picture, if you want to zoom out and really forget about all the details, I think it's just the destruction of the purchasing power of our fiat currencies, right? I mean, it's the relentless, endless, never-ending money printing, which is necessary in a fiat money system, which is backed by nothing than just the force of the state and basically the trust of the people. And this is eroding by the day. More and more people waking up, and it's a long process. I mean, I started buying precious metals more than 25 years ago. I never thought it would take that long. But here we are, and finally, I think it's more apparent now and more obvious that this fiat money system, whether it's the euro or the dollar or other currencies, they all have a limited lifetime, because in the end of the day, if it's not backed by anything, yeah, what happens is massive money printing, massive currency printing, to be precise, and that leads to the destruction of the purchasing power, and hence people are escaping into hard assets, and gold has always been money and has always survived these kind of paper money experiments, right? So I think that's, in a nutshell, the main driver here. And it's a secular bull market. I mean, this bull market is running now since 2001, and it's obviously now accelerating and getting more and more exciting here. And I don't see, I mentioned it already, the Fed on Wednesday, I mean, they announced basically some form of a QE again. So you can see, even though they tried to tighten and reduce the balance sheet, which they had blown up during the COVID crash, right? They are now at that point where actually they urgently have to bring in more liquidity into the system, because otherwise it will all collapse. And so this will continue, and hence this is the largest, biggest driver for gold. So this is the gold chart going back to basically mid of October, and you can see we had this double top here at 4,380. And then we had this sharp sell-off. I mentioned it before, $500 down within 5 weeks. And then it took a while until gold basically came back up on its feet, failed here at this former trend line, and came back down again. But we can beautifully see here a series of higher highs. And it broke out above this downtrend line. It's been basically kind of a triangle formation of the last few weeks, sideways consolidation within a triangle. That's the typical kind of formations that you see in a bull run in an uptrend. And we had this lengthy sideways consolidation then since end of November, while silver was already pushing higher. Gold went just sideways nowhere. And now since Wednesday evening and yesterday, Thursday, gold has pushed higher again. And this morning, or just a few hours ago, we made a new high here in this uptrend at 4,353. It's coming back down now before the weekend, but overall, gold is back up on the way to its all-time high here, testing this zone. I would say this whole zone here is a resistance zone. Maybe we need 2-3 more attempts. I doubt that we will break through this uptrend, this green line here. That means 4,150 to 4,180 or 4,200 is probably the worst case already on the downside. Most likely this sideways period here will already hold any pullback. It's a bullish setup even in the short term. And of course, once gold breaks out above 4,380, I assume we will be here on the way to 5,000, 5,200 until next spring. That's the pattern. Usually, seasonality-wise, gold is bullish into January, February, March. These rallies can last into sometimes April and May, but the first 3 months are always very strong. Don't forget, we have the Chinese New Year coming up in early February, which attracts a lot of physical buying. A lot of gold is going to be gifted for the new year in China, and that is a strong driver for gold. And I assume, 5,000, 5,200, that's the next target that I have. Probably until spring, can happen faster too. We've seen how crazy silver has been running up. But that's basically the bullish picture. I doubt that gold will drop below $4,000 again. That I think is only possible if the stock markets would crash. But as we now know, the Fed is expanding the money supply again, so it's unlikely that stocks are going to crash. I think overall everything will continue to move higher, but precious metals will continue to outperform everything. I think they have still a lot more upside. Don't forget, in the last bull market in the 1970s, gold topped in January 1980. The miners topped 9 months later in the autumn of 1980, because it took still quite a while for the market to understand how much the margins had improved by this higher gold price environment, and hence I think something similar we might see this time as well. Gold at some point topping out, and then the miners still can run another half a year or a year. But this is all still stuff for the future. I mean, I don't see any long-term top in this secular bull market in gold yet. I think gold can easily go to 5,000, probably 10,000, and probably even higher than $15,000. And so, from current prices, that's still a 3x. And the big miners, the big producers, they all have, in the end of the day, a leverage on it. So, 3 to 5x should be easily possible with those big names, if you are patient enough to hold on to it. And of course, you don't want to buy into a crazy price spike, which is always difficult if prices are running away. Silver is, it's been a heck of a run. It's been unbelievable. I've been honestly surprised myself a little bit how strong it's been. So this is our silver daily call. You can see this is the call for today. We had this double top here at 54.45. This was the new all-time high back in, I think it was 17th of October. Silver broke out above 50 and rallied up to this number here, and then it came down hard. 45.80, I think, was the low. And then it quickly came back up and basically made it a double top here. And then it came back, but it didn't reach that low from the first leg down. And this whole formation here was actually a bullish formation, and it started to make clear that silver is now taking the lead. And I've been saying that now for a few weeks. Silver is now leading. We had this inverse head and shoulder bottom pattern here. Then we had overall a cup and handle. And yeah, since silver broke above this 54, 55 kind of resistance here from those two tops before, yeah, since then there's no holding back anymore. And the new all-time high is about 64.45 today. I think silver is going to $72 in the short term, probably. That's where you have a long-term resistance, but only because you can draw a long-term channel since the COVID lows, basically. I've been saying this for years now, that in the long run, in the big picture, I think silver will see 3 digits. I think silver will go to $100 and higher. And in the short term, yeah, it's an unheard, unseen of rally in the silver market. I think 72.50-ish is probably the short-term top. Maybe it can even run to $100. I mean, it's been, as I said, I mean, I was a little bit surprised now over this extreme strength that silver showed up, but it makes sense. I mean, the breakout above $50 is confirmed. That's a huge technical signal. It took 45 years for silver to break out. Just imagine the amount of energy that has been compressed within this huge cup and handle pattern over 45 years. And the targets out of this cup and handle pattern are clearly at least $100. And then in the long run, on a logarithmic chart, yeah, we're talking $250 to $500 for silver.
The powerful breakout in silver, after 45 years of consolidation, confirms the energy is unleashed, signaling a historic opportunity in the precious metals sector. With the Fed resorting to new forms of QE and currency destruction continuing, gold and silver are set to continue outperforming everything. This setup provides significant leverage potential for big miners, with an easy 3x to 5x return for patient investors. Would you like to know more about the long-term targets for silver? Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps you informed when the markets shift next.